Meet is brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare.
Today, some tips on keeping your kids healthy as they head back to school. Joining us with more is Mark Mincolla, Ph.D., a natural health care practitioner from Cohasset, Massachusetts. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Allie.
So, you know, kids are going from intense games of kick the can and days at the beach to catching a bus in the wee hours and a much more regimented schedule.
Indeed they are.
How do we make it a little bit easier of a transition on their bodies and their minds?
Well, I think the first thing we want to think of is that body and that health and their immune systems. You know, this is the time of year, Allie, when there's an awful lot of late summer colds that tend to cycle in. I think some of the suggestions we bring up today may actually help them from cycling on and on and on.
So why so many sicknesses triggered this time of year? I mean, the weather's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great question, but I think, you know, during this time of year, there's such an abrupt change in cycling of everybody's schedule, of course. Kids are used to sleeping kind of late, staying up late. Everything's changing right now. They're institutionalized, they're all together. There's a lot more contagion, of course. It's a tough time of year.
Yeah. What can we do to get them to have a healthier year?
Well, I think, first of all, you know, as we mentioned here, we've got to really stabilize that day-to-day plan. We've got to stabilize their diet, their sleep habits. I think really important to kind of pack that lunch. Some of those school lunches are not quite as healthy. We mentioned monolaurin is something that could be very, very helpful. Over the years, we've recommended that to a lot of folks. It's from coconut oil. It's antiviral, antibacterial, great stuff. Also, sambucol. Sambucol is actually elderberry, and elderberry is very powerful as a natural antibiotic. They mix it in various syrup concoctions at a lot of the health food stores. Kids are really willing to take it. Probiotics, of course, offset some of the negative effects of antibiotics. A probiotic is, of course, some of the living cultures isolated from like yogurt cultures that kids can take in capsule form.
Even though so many of these things come from natural sources, I think some parents are still wary of giving kids even natural products or herbs or things. What about side effects for these?
Yeah, with these particular supplements, Allie, there really are no side effects. There's no contraindications. I've mentioned things that are actually very safe, available over the counter, inexpensive, and if folks want to basically experiment with these, they can do that. If people want to learn a little bit more about some of these supplements and some of these recommendations, Allie, they could check out our website at www.maxhealing.com.
All right, Mark Mincolla, thank you for joining us. Coming up next week, how to keep your kids' nutrition in balance.